All right. Hey, welcome to White Space.
Hey guys,
Ep- Episode 19, I think. I could be wrong.
it's
Possible.
19.
So today we have our usual hodgepodge of sports and entertainment. Becca, where would you like us to start today?
I think we can start with sports.
Okay.
It's
Well,
always
we've
a good
had some breaking news today in the sports world that
too.
just happened that we sent each other at the same time just to ensure that we remain on the same wavelength. But Odell Beckham Jr. has signed with the Miami Dolphins.
Dolphins.
What
Good
do you
that they've
think?
been after him for a while.
This is at a minimum the third time this offseason they've tried to sign him. I bet it's more than that.
Yeah,
It looks like a little under 9 million. I don't know how much of that's guaranteed. I would bet probably a lot though.
yeah.
Um,
I
I
think
just told Judd about this, and he likes OBJ. I don't really know why. I think because of that one dramatic one-handed catch he had like several years ago. But Judd said to me,
I
and I'm
mean,
going with this.
that'll
He said, I'm just glad he didn't go to the Chiefs. Me too, bud. Me too.
be same buddy. I
Um,
hope he still has a good year in him. Um, but he just seems a little injury prone, which understandable. Like you've been beat to heck for years in the NFL.
yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see. It feels like they're trying to set Tua up really well since they've extended his contract. Um, so we'll kind of
And I
see how that
mean,
plays. Possibly just trying to get some veterans in the room to give a little bit more stability there. But I don't know.
yeah, I mean they still have Tyreek obviously, but I don't think he'll stay. I don't think OBJ will stay healthy. He just doesn't seem to have longevity in him. They do
Yeah.
have Retha's brother Jody now, Fortson from the Chiefs, and God
Oh,
willing,
right.
he'll be able to stay healthy this season. And I think he could have a really great season there. I mean,
Yeah.
the Dolphins are always like that team. You're like, oh, they should be good.
Yeah. Well, but even Tyreek, a lot of injuries last season, and it doesn't seem like off season. He's really kept himself super healthy. So once
Yeah,
you start again, it'll be interesting to see. So maybe having some of these new guys come in that didn't get a lot of play time last year, that might
yeah.
actually be really beneficial for them.
I haven't seen who it was. I don't know if you have, but I did see that he turned down more money somewhere else.
Interesting.
I don't know.
I still wonder the why. I mean, obviously, behind why they pick some of the teams that they pick, you're looking
Yeah,
at coaching staff, you're looking at quarterback. I do think if I was an NFL player, not one like a Patrick Mahomes or somebody that's like, I'm
right.
staying in one place for my entire career, but
Yeah,
I would be so interested to be like, you know what? I want to go play for Mike McDaniels. I just want to see
that's
what
me. Yeah.
he's like. That's got to be fun.
Yeah, that's my thing is I would love to play for him or just really just be around him and see like is the dynamic like what you see on TV because he just seems so intriguing, but he also seems like incredibly smart about the game.
So intelligent.
And so
Yeah.
I think that would be interesting. I think Tua would be a great quarterback to play with. I do not agree with people like Tyreek who thinks he's better than Patrick, but whatever. I mean, we'll see. I know like this past season when the playoffs started and we went to that Dolphins Chiefs game, I was terrified. I was just convinced that the Dolphins were going to win. I just knew it was going to happen, and then they kind of crapped the bed. So I don't
Yeah.
know. We
It'll be
shall
interesting.
see.
They're definitely set up for success, so it'll be fun to watch them again this year. I think they
Yeah,
got so close last year. It's one of those things where they're like itching to get back on board. So we'll see.
yeah.
But another interesting
Uh,
signing we had was Dallas Cowboys, who did nothing in free agency and then barely made moves at the draft, and now they've brought back Mr. Ezekiel Elliott. So
Listen, it feels weird. Now let's see. I don't know if my dates are right, but did they come in? Did he and OBJ come into the league at the same time?
I don't know.
I don't know if that's accurate, but I feel like that band of players in that kind of age range, I just between injuries and just not producing anymore, I don't get it. I don't get at all what the Cowboys have done this season. All
Okay,
season I should
so
say.
other than Ezekiel and Dak being best friends and like having a good
Yeah.
camaraderie, I guess, I looked up Ezekiel's stats from last year. Did you look at
Oh.
those?
Well, no, but he didn't do anything, did he? Like
No, ma'am. he averaged 3.5 yards per rushing attempt. 3.5 yards.
3.5
He had 3 touchdowns total for the season,
all year.
and he had 6 all year, and he had 642 rushing yards for the entire season.
Oh
So
my! I
what
knew it
made
was
you?
bad, but that's real bad.
Yeah. When I started, he was like 46th in one ranking and like 26th and I was like, what possesses us to bring him back? Like, we are literally setting McCarthy and Dak up, not for success.
So no, I was wrong. I just looked it up. OBJ was 2014 and Ezekiel was 2016, but that's a long time ago now. I mean, you're talking 8 years ago for him. I
Yeah.
did not know it was that bad. I knew it was bad, but you would have also assumed, as poorly as the Patriots offense was running, especially like not knowing what they were doing with quarterback, that your running game should have been like the thing you could rely on. And clearly, well, I mean, they didn't win a lot, so maybe those 3 touchdowns really were it.
I will be interested to watch the Cowboys this year because McCarthy knows his job's on the line. Dak knows he's not getting re-signed to the Cowboys, but he's going to want to get re-signed somewhere. So he has a lot to prove. And then Ezekiel going to, Patriots last year, not having a good season, being back, he has a lot that he wants to prove. So
Yeah,
potentially, maybe they do really well this year. We'll see. They've always done really well until they get to the playoffs, and then they just go kaput. So
yeah.
who knows?
I'm going to go ahead and say that if they don't, I mean, it's going to be a burn it all down and start over because McCarthy will get fired. Zeke is going to be one and done, regardless of what happens. Dak, I don't know what'll happen with that situation, but CD Lamb will be like, his mama's going to have his bags in the car and they will be gone because she's already said this ain't it. Like,
Yeah.
I also think Micah Parsons, he's got to be so uber frustrated. Like, dude is like a generational level talent, but he's on a team that
Doesn't utilize it.
won't do it. Like, I mean, they just don't. I don't get it.
I
The only
think
thing
it's
I can figure is they're trying to implode at this point. They have to be.
I think it will come down to once we finish this season, Dak is gone. It's going to come down to who are you picking as your quarterback, and that will determine which players are going to stay and which ones are going to ask to be traded, depending on what their contracts have left on them. But I think as
Yeah,
long as you've got Jerry Jones, he always goes for names. He doesn't go for talent. So that
yeah.
clearly helps you.
I mean, I just think about if CD was with literally any other team, but I just think about teams like, I mean, shoot, even the Bills, if they could have got him, or the Dolphins or the Ravens. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, sure, if he came to Kansas City, but I don't, I don't think we want that kind of money on the table. But
No.
I just, I don't know. I think it'll be interesting. I can only assume they're trying to implode, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But I mean, at the end of the day, Jerry Jones is a businessman and he's still making a crap ton of money, regardless of winning or losing. And he's had his years of getting rings. So maybe he doesn't care. I don't know.
We lose you. You
Bless
there?
the internet. Bless the internet. Go ahead. Oh my
Fun
gosh.
times. Yeah.
But speaking of contract work, our boy got some money this week.
He sure
Mr.
did.
Travis
Highest.
Kelsey got him. Yeah, and I think what I love about the story, obviously, I'm going to love any day that Trav gets something big, but like never asked for a penny. Like he
Mhm.
didn't get this rework of these last 2 years because he asked for it. He
Yeah.
just didn't.
I mean, here's the thing. Are his managers working behind the scenes? Sure.
Probably.
Are
I
they
hope so.
asking for an increase? Absolutely. But I don't think it doesn't come across as he's one of those players that's going to go on Twitter or social media and start blasting the organization for not paying him his worth. He knows he's worth more than he's getting. However, he also knows he's on a winning team and he loves what he's doing. So it is time
Yeah,
to guys get ahead.
it's what we've said before on here. I just don't understand why these guys. I mean, it's hard to say this. I do understand why they're chasing money because at the end of the day, it's money. But I guess I just never will understand, especially something like Tyreek, when it was really like a $2 million differential between KC and Miami, why he jumped ship to go to Miami. I just won't ever get it because yeah, you're making money. You're making 2 million more. If you're paying your taxes, you probably lost that in taxes. Why
Yeah.
not stay where you can win a ring? Like, is the goal when you get to the NFL not to win a Super Bowl? Because to me, yeah, I want to make millions, but I want a Super Bowl. Like,
Yeah.
I don't get that.
Well, and also a lot of times they have in their contracts, if you get to the Super Bowl and then if you win the Super Bowl, there's
Yeah.
incentives financially there. So you're telling me it was worth it to spend the money to move, to buy a new house and not get a Super Bowl out of that?
I have to wonder with people like Tyreek, though, I kind of wonder if that's like a lifestyle decision because I just kind of feel like quite obviously life in Miami is vastly different than the Midwest. Mike McDaniels runs a completely different ship than Andy Reid does. Like I just
And that could potentially play into it. Who knows?
well, when you have 10 children, 4 in the past year at least confirmed,
Woo!
I don't know if that's a KC vibe. So maybe that's it, but super
Listen,
happy that Trav got paid. Very well deserved. And I know it's a 2-year thing, but let's be honest. If they win again this season, I think he's done.
yeah, I would agree.
I would honestly go ahead and say that I think he's done either way. But it's going to depend on how close or how far they came, and then how he stays healthy. But I still truly think he's done at the end of the season. But for
Yeah.
sure, if there's a ring, like there's no way.
Well, and then now we got his brother who retired last year and he got himself a nice. It's not been officially announced. It's been unofficially announced.
Is it still unofficial?
Still unofficial. So it will stay unofficial until May 13th. That's
Oh, why is that?
So May 13th is, well, it says not expected to be officially announced until then because that's when Disney and ESPN do their big presentations to the advertisers.
Oh,
So I think this is kind of like their look what we did and we'll
look
have.
what we did. Yeah.
So
Well, that will definitely that'll be interesting to see the dollar amount that's on that deal.
yeah, what I read was 1.8 million, but it's a 1 year
That's all?
because
Well,
however he worked it in was that allows him to continue doing New Heights, their podcast. So I'm guessing they had to rework some negotiations in there, some business.
I was super confident he was only going to sign a 1-year deal. I think that again points to I think Trav is done after this season, and I think they get their version of the Manning cast. Whatever that's going to look like. I think the two of them will have their show, and it's going to be amazing, and we're going to love it. I will buy the merch for that. I got my green hat in this week, so Taylor and I match now.
There you
So,
go.
so
There you go.
I'm ready to go.
I think him doing the Monday night, the pregame is probably the best introduction for him into that analyst type role. I think he's on a good panel that will set him up.
It'll be interesting to see because there's all this conversation right now that they are shopping New Heights between podcast networks for some pretty substantial money. So I do think it's going to be interesting to see where it lands because as much as we love Trav and Jason, they're not really like cable TV commentary, you know what I mean, tracking with me. And so I think they'll have to be particular about what network they land with because not suitable for work commentary sometimes and language. So it'll be interesting to see because also like maybe it's a YouTube show. You know what I mean? Like
It's
something like that.
Pat McAfee vibes.
And more so than like we're in the studio booth,
But I kind of think that's where analyst is going now. We're
gonna
getting
have
rid
to.
of old talking heads a little bit more. There's still going to be a place for them, sure. But this newer generation that's coming into the NFL and just the younger generation that's enjoyed it all along kind of enjoy this fresh look at what the locker room is like, what negotiations are like, and kind of perspective. So there's definitely potential there for them.
I think too, it would really work well for them if they could keep kind of that vibe, sort of like McAfee does, because then they wouldn't have to be either at the games or even in a studio. And that would work really well, especially with Jason wanting to be around more for their kids and God willing, Trav needing to be around for a family and all of that. I think that vibe would be good. And especially like if he needs to be in LA for whatever he's doing next, I just think it would be, I don't know, it could be really cool, like on YouTube TV kind of thing.
Absolutely.
So I don't know. I
Yeah.
think whatever they end up doing with the podcast and where it sells, I think will be telling as to where they're trying to shop themselves for what's
Yeah.
next.
I agree.
Um, so we've had some other football news. We've had a couple of people whose 5th-year options were not picked up this week, which that's kind of a confusing thing. I don't know that I entirely understand it. The way I take it, and tell me if you think this is right or wrong. I take it as like we're not ready to re-sign you, but we're not saying we're not going to.
Yeah, it kind of seems like you have the option to go talk and look, but
Mm-hmm.
we officially said you can sign with somebody. But
Yeah.
again,
So
we have no
yeah,
idea.
listen, we make up this stuff as we go. But Najee Harris from the Steelers, they did not pick up his 5th-year option, which
He's a
I'll
good
be
kid.
honest surprises me.
Yeah.
I didn't really get that. So I'm wondering if that's a discrepancy of what he thinks he's worth and what they're willing to pay.
That's kind of what I wondered. Is this a let's see who's going to call whose bluff?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But speaking of the Steelers, we saw that Justin Fields is allegedly potentially taking punts and kickoffs. What is happening? I mean,
I
he's
don't
probably
even.
going to do better at that than quarterback, but like, what do we know?
I guess
But
if we're going to have him
also,
on
that is like a injury prone central too. So I'm like,
is it though with the rule changes now?
oh, I forgot we're in flag football now. I don't know. I
Right.
forgot.
That's probably why they're putting him there because nobody's
Yeah, they're
going to
like,
touch.
well, nobody can touch you. And also now, as of this
Runs.
week, we can give you the what is it called, the Guardian cap? Have you
Yes.
seen this? Yes,
Yep.
please. Let's wrap ourselves in bubble wrap. Yeah,
If anybody, any NFL player comes out into the game with that on, they are going to be
dead.
crucified by the other players.
I
They'll
can
never
already hear. I can already hear McAfee. I can already hear New Heights. I can already hear all of them. Like, what are we doing? Like,
so
it's
many
going to be
NFL
amazing.
players come out on Twitter making comments like, "Are we serious? Is this for real?"
I showed it to Judd, and at 8 years old, he was like, "This looks like a cartoon."
I
Yes,
feel like
it does.
Tua's probably going to wear it.
Well, I think it may be best for him. Yeah, if anyone should, it is definitely him. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, I feel
Because
like
there is not much left there, probably.
God, after all those hits to his head last year.
Ooh, I don't know. Just saying. I don't know that I'd be around him in like 5 to 10 years.
Thanks for the paycheck, but I'm out.
Yeah.
Here.
Bye bye.
So,
The Chiefs declined the 2025 option on Kadarius Toney. What are your feelings and thoughts on that?
I feel like they should have announced that sooner because you had all your fans worried.
Yeah, we were scared that we were sticking with that.
We don't need him. He proved last year he is not. I almost felt not trustworthy to the team. Like if you put him out there, we couldn't trust you in those big moments, and you can't have taken up that much of your salary that we just going to put on the field because we don't know.
Well, and I think too, like even when people like Trav on his show tried to defend him and still show support, and then whatever happened with his Twitter, he claimed it wasn't really him. I don't know. He came out with some bad vibes, like talking more than he should be and things like that. So I don't know.
Yeah.
The news does not sound great about Rasheed though. Sounds like we're looking at least half a season.
I mean,
I don't know. I mean,
your mind. Go ahead and put.
I just need it to be over. I feel that way about a lot of situations right now, but I know you can't speed up the justice system, or the legal system, but come on, just do something. Because I do think there's still some free agents out there that should go. I really think they maybe should go look at Michael Thomas, even though he was problematic at the Saints. He was problematic because he hates losing.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I think they might have enough talent on the team that they can cover for him for the first part of the season, but then you're just getting warmed up when the team's already ready to go.
And if they stay healthy.
Yes.
And I mean, there's a couple of people that they haven't proven themselves in the NFL yet. Right. Like Xavier Worthy's exciting, but we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know how well he's going to do actual game time.
Yeah. The Buffalo Bills signed former Steeler and Bear Chase Claypool. I think that's a good pickup for them. It's all going to be about personality there, though. It's never about talent level. We
Yep.
clearly have seen through Diggs, like it's got to be about personality.
Yep.
Let's see what else. Oh, NBA playoffs. I know again, you're not the biggest basketball fan.
I did see that the Lakers are not in it anymore, and that just warmed my heart because I don't like LeBron. So I have no idea who's in it, but I know it's on him.
Yeah, so the freaking Lakers got swept out by the Nuggets. It was bound to happen. They are now shopping for a new coach, which I think is true. They needed a new coach. I don't think Ham was the answer, but again, I say Anthony Davis, LeBron, we're getting older. Like, I don't know. It looks like that he may get, LeBron's got that show now with JJ Redick, and it looks like they're talking to JJ about maybe coming to coach. So I'm assuming if LeBron wants him, he'll be there anyway. We'll see. So what we've got left now, the Knicks just knocked the 76ers out, which I don't think we've talked about the Knicks since like the 90s. So that's exciting. The Pacers, another team since the 90s, knocked out the Bucks.
Okay.
Much to Judd's dismay, the Celtics took out the Heat. What is interesting now, pretty much the only thing that's left interesting, well, I shouldn't say that. I'm sorry. On the other side of the world, the Thunder knocked out the Pelicans. Shocker. But the Clippers and the Mavericks are at 3-2 right now. The Mavericks are up 3-2. So that'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah.
And then the Timberwolves took out the Suns, like completely swept them. That surprised me.
I did see games.
Then, of course, the Nuggets won. But then the Celtics will play either the Cavaliers or the Magic. The Cavs lead 3-2. Again, teams that we have not talked about since the 90s. So It's kind of exciting.
Well,
I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and say that I think it's going to end up being the Thunder and the Celtics, but I don't know. We'll see. Now that the Lakers are out, I don't care. So whatever.
Doesn't matter.
Let's see. Anything else in the sports world that we haven't covered?
I think that's it for what's going on now. Now, more stuff could come out today.
Listen, I haven't looked at my Twitter since we got on here, so I'm sure. Oh, no, we did forget one story. Speaking of the Cowboys, Dak, they are not pressing charges against him for the accusations stemming from a long time ago.
Yes. And the accuser put in to dismiss Dak's countersuit, which his lawyer came out and was like, absolutely not. And I think they're also going to go after her for something else, potentially.
Oh.
So,
well, you know what you should do, people? You should tell the truth. Shocker.
Right?
Didn't know this was that complicated, but apparently it is.
Listen, and obviously I don't have my law degree, but my question is, as a lawyer,
basically,
why would you go at someone, especially a public figure that everyone knows, and say, hey, my client says you did this. You give us $100 million and we'll shut up. Isn't that blackmail? Isn't that like
isn't that suspicious?
lawyer 101 that says we don't do this?
I mean, whoa, this table I'm at just took a nosedive. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I didn't really think he was guilty. Of course, we don't know these people from anyone, but the whole thing seemed weird. He doesn't seem like that kind of guy. I don't know.
Well, and especially when they come out and they're like, yeah, I did have relations with this person, but it was mutual. Here's the situation.
Yeah.
Listen, if he came out denying it, then that's when you're like, your lifestyle might prove otherwise. But it is sad that some of these women can make these huge accusations, and it has huge consequences for these players, even if it's not true.
Well, and I think that that's the thing we need to see more of in society is when a woman or a man makes a false accusation that is, proven that it was false. Like, there needs to be repercussions for that instead of like, he's just off the hook. I mean, that's great. Yeah. But they should then be on the hook because, I mean, that's defamation of character. It's slander. But a lot of times it just kind of goes like, oh, it just goes away.
Right.
And I don't think that's right because it's just going to keep perpetuating itself.
Yeah. You got to start making examples of people. So, yeah.
Our girl Caitlin Clark does make her debut tonight. I did not end up going to the game. I am going to the Royals game tonight, so maybe I'll have some baseball news. Yeah, she makes her debut tonight against the Dallas Wings. I'm mad I'm not going to be able to see it because I'm going to be at the baseball game, so I'll have to catch it later.
There you go.
But
I'll try and get.
yeah, if anything major happens, let me know.
I got you.
All right, so let's switch gears and talk about a little entertainment. It's kind of been a weird week. Not, I wouldn't say there's not been a ton of news, but it's a lot of like random kind of things that have happened. Our friend Britney Spears, and when I say friend, I don't mean that we know her. We don't. But it appears that we have gone off the rocker again at best. So something
back on the rocker.
I'm not sure that the rocker was even ever in her picture, but so I guess we started the week with she finally settled things with her dad in the conservatorship ordeal. So that kind of started the week, which I apparently didn't settle well, I'm guessing, as to what led to the end of the week. Apparently she had some sort of altercation with the gentleman that she's dating to where her ankle, I saw the picture of her ankle, it's like the size of a cantaloupe. And apparently her mom called around the time this happened, and then suddenly the police came, but they were not wanted. Just a lot of very unstable like news.
Yeah, it's just, if you see her Instagram posts, they're just kind of all over the place where you're just, so in college, my junior year.
Oh, okay. Let's go.
Finals. I took a class that was called like young adult literature or something like that. Where you had to read. Our final was like, in 1 week, we had to read 25 books and we had to do a book report on all of them. That was our final.
No.
Now listen, your girl, even though my degree is in English, I am not a reader. I don't enjoy it. It is not fun to me. SparkNotes was my friend.
Right,
so
right.
I read all these books and I started writing the final paper. Apparently, writing the final paper, I fell asleep because I was obviously doing it at night.
Right.
In my sleep, I continued and finished my paper and submitted it.
Oh no. Oh no.
So luckily, shout out Miss Burt.
Thank God for her.
She liked me because she also taught my mom in college, and she really liked my mom.
Oh wow. Yeah. Okay.
But she sent me an email, and it was like, "Hey, maybe recheck your paper, and I'm going to give you an extension and let you resubmit." And she goes, "It looks like maybe you started dreaming in the middle of your paper." And of course, I, straight A's in college, went into instant panic.
Did you know that you had submitted it?
I knew I submitted it because I thought I submitted it and then went to bed.
Oh, okay. So you just weren't real sure of the timeline. Oh, man.
I go back and I'm reading my paper, and it truly is. I was writing about the book, and then it goes into this extremely elaborate story of a dream that I had. And I remembered having the dream.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Here's posts. That's what I feel like, because she's talking about her ankle, and then she starts talking about espresso and all these other things, and I was like, "What is happening?"
I couldn't figure out if that was like, was she shouting out Sabrina Carpenter with espresso? I wasn't sure what was happening there.
I don't ever know. There's never like a full thought process there, and it all jumps around. So it's like she has parts of a conversation in her head and then types out the rest, and then another conversation and types out the rest. And it just, nothing ever matches up with what we actually see.
Yeah.
And then she always, I don't know, she's always throwing her mom and her sister under the bus. But then a couple of months later, she'll come back and be like, "I just want my mom," or "My mom is."
Yeah.
And I'm like, the whiplash. And if you're truly free, like, go get the mental help that you need. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I think she's so far gone. I'll be real honest. Like, I am shocked she's still with us. Truly. I mean, I'm thankful she is for sure. But I just,
it's just sad to see that she clearly doesn't have the right people in her corner.
And at a minimum,
the right doctors around her. Because I feel like she still has so much left to give with her art and her talent. And it's just what's become of it.
It is crazy how much from an art standpoint we've missed out from her, you know, just because she literally either can't or won't or whatever now.
Yeah.
I mean, God only knows what we could have gotten. I mean, it's just crazy. I don't know. I guess we'll be interested to see what happens, but scared too, but also being a little manic on social media this week. The Biebs, Justin Bieber, posted this like carousel of pictures, and in some he was crying.
Yeah.
I'm going to be the first to say, as we all know, I am not a Bieber fan. Don't really care. You're a douchebag and you've been really bad to people. So there's that. But I'll be honest, I didn't take this the way other people did. Everyone was like all in his comments worried about him. Are he and Haley breaking up? Like, and then she
Yeah.
even commented like, "You're a pretty crier," and I was like, "That's what triggered me, though. This is what I think. I think this is Easter egging for music that's about to come out. I don't
Oh,
think he's. I mean, is he emotionally disturbed? Yes, he always has been. Was this post that? I don't think so. I think her saying something about calling him like a pretty crier or whatever it was. I bet you anything he's got a song called coming out called that.
interesting. I think I'm just always shocked when things like this come out on social media because I just assume that all of these famous people don't actually post on their Instagram, besides Britney Spears. I just assume that you
Yeah.
have a PR person that's like got a plan
Yeah.
and they know you're sending them pictures and then they're coming up with the So when things like that come up, I'm like, did you post that intentionally? It seems weird, especially with all the hoopla that's gone on around their marriage and them acting like we just want to be left alone. Well, then stop putting stuff like this out there because you're really asking for it.
And I think it's all intentional with him. I think the fact that they were at Sushi Park recently, we all know anytime a celebrity's there, that's intentional. It's like part of the plan. You go there, you've already worked it out. Like they're in Hawaii together right now. I don't know. I have a feeling he's got, I mean, I think we both have said on here before, it appears that he is probably heavily into the drug scene again. Something is definitely off. So it could be that, but I have a feeling it's hinting at music coming.
Which would be interesting because he constantly like when he does come out and do like one song with somebody, it's like his anxiety that he has, he just can't do more. So then I'm like,
No.
are you ever gonna put out new music if you mentally just can't handle that? I don't know.
Well,
It'll be interesting to see, but
I can see him putting out an album again. I don't know that I could see him being able to successfully complete another world tour. Not where his mental health has been, at least.
no, maybe a couple of concerts, but you're right, not a full tour.
Yeah. Maybe he'll get a residency in Vegas. I don't know. Well, let's talk about some other music that we actually do enjoy. So we have to talk about Taylor. This past week, she occupied the top 14 on the Billboard. No surprise.
No.
I was surprised at the order,
Okay.
like 1 through 14.
Yeah.
I think because, and I will say again, as every week that we come back on and I've listened to it more, songs that I didn't like before are growing on me. So I do see some of that happening. There's just some though that I would have put towards the bottom of the 14, and they were much higher. I'm pulling up the list.
Okay.
Well, maybe I am. Maybe I'm not. I thought it'd be easy to find. Here we go. This is very professional. Oh, no, that's a video. All right. Please hold. I did see just now that Twitter came up and said that NFL legend Michael Irvin is now out at the NFL Network after 2 decades.
Oh, wow.
So there's that. I mean,
that's interesting.
Well, I mean, why is this so hard to find? How am I struggling? Oh, here we go. Okay, I'm ready. God bless America. Okay. Number 1 was Fortnite. That sounded right to me. Number 2 is Down Bad. Now, Down Bad is the one that's kind of growing on me. I was not in on this the way everyone else was, but it's growing. I Can Do It With a Broken Heart has totally won me over. I have it in my head all the time now. Tortured Poets Department, So Long London. Number 6, though. My Boy Only Breaks His Favorite Toys. I still don't like it.
Okay, listen to that one yesterday. Growing on me. It's got a little bit of a beat.
Let me try again.
Yeah.
That one's the one I was like, Number 7, of course, but Daddy, I Love Him. That should have been way higher. Florida, I like that one. I know you don't. Who's Afraid of Little Old Me? Guilty as Sin. Fresh Out the Slammer.
I still can't.
I can't. I just am not there. I did.
No.
Did Gypsy Rose really make a joke that it should be her favorite song?
Listen, if she did, that's
It,
fantastic.
I don't know if it was just somebody that was saying it should be, but I was super happy about that.
Love it.
Number 12 was LOML, and 13 was The Alchemy, and 14 was The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived. The next one
You
that
know what? I'm
comes close,
surprised
which one are you surprised about?
that So High School is not on the list.
So I'm surprised too, and here's my theory on this. The closest next song was number 20 was I Can Fix Him, No Really I Can. So High School was all the way down at 24. But it even comes after Thank You, Amy and Clairbo. Here's what I'm thinking. You know how I think everything is controlled, right? I still think So High School is going to be a single. I still think there's going to be a music video. And I think they have it down low purposefully right now because either they know it's coming or she knows it's coming. And then it can like really shoot up and break some sort of record of going up. That's my theory. Today is May 3rd, right? Yes.
Yes.
Allegedly, something may happen today I mean, we really should put that like every day, but really, they really think something is supposed to happen today because there's been fives and threes and everything. I think it's a music video of another song. Maybe it's So High School. Maybe it's Down Bad. I don't know. I can do it with Broken Heart. People are off their rockers. They think there's a TTPD documentary, which we would love, but I don't see it. Poetry book, maybe. I just think it's another music video. And I think it's going to be So High School.
I would enjoy that. That'd be nice.
Or does she not do that until she needs another bump in the rankings and does it right when football season starts? Just
Okay.
saying.
Okay.
Just saying.
Yeah. I'm a bump right now. That's for sure.
Yeah. So that has happened this week. And I'm sure we'll carry over into the next week. I don't know if she'll hold all 14 again, but probably, honestly. I don't know if any of those positions.
Next week.
Yeah, the tour starts back next week in Paris.
And it does look like TTPD might be added to the set list.
Yeah, so I was going to ask about that. It does. She's definitely hinting at it, if not. And if I do think she's jacking with us a lot these days, which more power to her. Have some fun with it, but you're making people crazy. I do think it's going to be on the set list. It'll be super interesting to see how they change things around. I am of the theory that it is probably true the ones that did not originally make the movie will probably be permanently removed, and that will make space. But everyone keeps pointing out right now this show is at about 3 hours and 15 minutes right now if you go there. But when she does the champagne problem speech, she always says 3 hours and 30 minutes, 3.5 hours. She always tells a story that they used to joke with her, what are you going to do? Put on a 3.5 hour show? She always says 3.5.
Yes.
Makes me think she won't take anything off and just put them in there. So I guess we'll see. We'll know this time next week. It's midday, so it's going to be perfect for us to watch and work at the same time. I am interested to see how she does it though, because I think we're just so used to like that Midnight's ends it and Karma's like the perfect last song.
Yeah.
So I don't think she could because I don't think any of these songs are good closers.
No, that's not how you want to leave a crowd.
No, but the other thing is I don't want her to change the intro. So I need it in the middle somewhere. Let's not mess up the bookends. But I'll be excited to see. Super fun if you're going to Paris, to the girl that Caroline Brown that I gave my code to Paris to. You enjoy that show.
So if she adds TTPD, what song or songs are you really hoping she'll do live?
I think it has to be I Can Do It With a Broken Heart. Okay, well, let me say what I think she'll do. That's pretty close to what I would want to. I think that she'll do that. I think she'll do Tortured Poets Department. That's where I get iffy after that, though. I know most people think it's going to be Down Bad. And again, it's growing on me, so maybe I'll get there. I don't know how she could do Fortnite, and the backup singers could do post part, but a lot of times she doesn't normally do that, like Castle's Crumbling, she hasn't done. And that's the other thing. Paramore's going to be on this tour now, and so she'll be adding Castles Crumbling, I'm sure, for her and Haley to do together. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But then the same with Florida. Florence won't be there.
As a surprise song.
Yeah, could be. I don't think it'll be so long London. I think that's going to be one of those ones that I think she will leave off limits. I don't think she'll perform it. Maybe she does.
Singing live.
Yeah. I want it to be, but Daddy, I love him. I could see it. I will be so happy if it is. I've seen a lot of people say either Who's Afraid of Little Me or Guilty as Sin. I could see it. I don't know. Just I'm having a hard time picturing the choreography for these.
Well, and I wonder if it will be a lot, or if it'll just kind of be when she's Folklore and Evermore, where they're just kind of slowly moving around.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Well, the only thing though is that in that YouTube short that she posted, and it appeared they were rehearsing, and I did zoom in at it because I wondered if it was footage from something else. It is the current dancer team. So because the reason I really zoomed in was the like the props they had were very circus oriented, which are more like the other tours.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I do not know.
I need to watch and kind of see. That'll be a fun surprise in the set list. So we'll fun.
We'll see. Barbara Streisand in the news. Didn't even know she was still alive. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Didn't know she had access to social media.
I don't think she should, apparently. So she made a comment on Melissa McCarthy's post and mentioned something about Ozempic. Is that right? It was Ozempic, right?
Yeah.
She says she meant to send her a DM about how great she looked. It still didn't read that way, even if that's what she meant. So it was just real weird. Real weird.
Well, but I thought, did you see Melissa McCarthy's response?
I did not.
Okay, so I thought she handled it really well. I pulled up her quotes. So E reached out to Melissa McCarthy to kind of get like, hey, what do you want to say about this?
Nothing is what I'd like to say.
I just want to move on with life.
Yeah.
But she said, the takeaway, Barbara Streisand knows I exist. She reached out to me. She thought she looked good. McCarthy said, I win the day. So she said, I think Barbara is a treasure and I love her. So I think it's one of those things. Here's the thing. Is Melissa McCarthy on Ozempic? Maybe.
Probably. She looks fantastic, though.
At the end of the day, it was meant as a compliment because she does look great.
Yeah.
So I thought she handled that really well to be like, you guys, this is not what you're making it out to be.
I'm just kind of over this whole, like, let's judge them if they are, because at the end of the day, they're getting healthier. So why should we, like,
who cares?
And they should own it. Be happy. Be proud of yourselves.
Listen.
I don't know.
Fine.
Y'all do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Do you have any other entertainment news that I've missed?
You know, I feel like it's kind of been a downtime in entertainment. They're not really giving us a lot of good gossip. So,
well, Monday, everything changes. We do have the Met Gala on Monday. We will be tuned into the red carpet.
I cannot wait to see that.
I do have a new theory. So it has allegedly been confirmed that Trav and Taylor will not be there. There's rumors that they may be at F1 in Miami this weekend, or they may be at the Kentucky Derby. Maybe at both. I don't know. Here's what I'm wondering. I have seen all of her band is already in Paris as of yesterday. The dancers are all in New York. What if they go to an after party like they did at the Oscars?
Maybe.
That's fine and dandy, but if we don't get pictures, I'm not. Listen, we're still waiting on Halloween pictures. So stop it. But we will have Met Gala news. The tour will be back. So lots of fun things coming.
Do you think the Mahomes will go back to Met Gala? Last year they went. That was their first time. Do you think they'll
go this year? Confirmed last year to go is the tricky part.
Oh.
They're not even in, I haven't even seen their names on the potential guest list.
Okay.
So Anna Wintour may have not invited them back. I don't know.
I never understood why she does and doesn't.
The god of all things. Like how did that happen?
If the Kardashians have made your invite list, you no longer get to say someone is not invited.
Did you notice? Well, okay, so I have seen several different lists on invites and then confirmed. And I think Kendall and Kylie seem to be confirmed, and I think Kim, but I don't think Courtney will be there. She's hardly ever there.
She doesn't know.
Um,
And
and
Chloe doesn't.
Chloe, this is only Chloe's second time to be invited, though.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Which
And I think Chris will
she
be there or she can't miss a photo op. So
I do feel like Kim will be there because recent shots of her show that she's like bleached her hair or done something. She has the
yeah,
most looking hair, but she
yeah,
always did something drastic before she goes to an event like that, just
yeah,
to go full ambiance of it. So I do kind of feel like she's prepping something to make an appearance there.
yeah.
Will she
Bad
look like
Bunny.
Sensori? Probably.
Oh
That seems
yeah.
her muse lately.
Bad Bunny is one of the hosts, and of course that's Kendall's ex, so that's going to be interesting.
A red carpet host?
He's like a host of the Met Gala. Him and like Zendaya and J Lo, and
I don't care. I don't care what you're
I
doing.
don't really know how it all works out anyway, so who cares? But we'll see. But we'll have a lot of commentary, I'm sure, nonetheless. Let's talk about our Y Factor, our new
Okay.
segment. I think that's what we're calling it, the Y Factor.
Y Factor. I like it. It
All right.
works.
Tell me something you love right now.
All right. So my love this week, let's just preface this with my baseline vibe is always being prepared for worst case scenario. For
Okay.
instance,
Oh boy.
yes,
This is going to be
going to
good. What is this, a storm shelter or something?
listen, I've looked at those this week.
Of course. Go ahead.
Yesterday, before going to the dentist for my dental procedure, before I left, like in my head, I have worked out every scenario that could possibly happen.
Oh God, I'm already worried.
I'm telling Doug, I'm like, hey, did you know when Grayson gets home from school every day that I always check his folder and sign it and it goes back in before the next day? And he was like, no. And I was like, just if ever I can't do it, make sure that you get that done. Because in my head, I'm thinking you're going to have to do it because I'm going to be dead after this.
Because I'm not going to make it. I'm sorry. What was the part in this story that you loved? Were we getting there? Okay. Okay.
So this summer, Doug and I are going to Hawaii and we're not taking the kids. This will be the longest flight that we've ever done.
Oh boy.
In my head, I've prepared everything. So I appreciate when companies make products.
Oh God. She's made a will or something. I can already tell.
Listen, it's a planner that's called I'm Dead Now.
Oh my God. It's real.
It's fantastic.
Oh my God. This is amazing.
All of my personal information, my life insurance information, who my beneficiaries are.
Oh my God.
This
is amazing.
Never seen in my life.
Oh my gosh. I can't even.
God. I have set aside time this weekend to fill this out and I could not be more excited.
Oh my God. Now, is Doug this way at all, or is this all you?
No. Doug is
okay.
He lives life like everything's gonna be fine. It's all fine. Everything's already taken care of. We're good. And I just have never been in that headspace.
It's just funny being friends with you and your sister, who is your twin. I mean, at one point, y'all were like literally together, yet could not be more different.
Nope.
This is amazing because I could just see her.
In my head, I'm like, you need to do this. You need to do this. Do you not have a plan for this?
Listen.
And I don't say it because she's just happy. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to ruin it for her.
Yeah. I would love to see her try to fill out this book, though.
Oh my gosh, she wouldn't know how to do it. Or she'd be like,
wait. I can't wait to hear what she thinks of this episode. Okay, so that is amazing and very on brand. Very on brand. Maybe we should try to get them to sponsor the podcast. I'm just saying. You send me the information and I'm reaching out.
Okay. Peter Popper Press.
Well, of course it's called Peter Popper. Even better. Okay, I love that. Well, so mine seems very mundane compared to a life planner for when I'm dead. But Gracie Abrams has a new single out. She's announced she's got a new album coming out. Gracie Abrams, if you don't know, she is the daughter, she is a Nepo baby, of J.J. Abrams, the famous movie director, Star Wars, those kind of things. Gracie opened for Taylor. She used to open for Olivia Rodrigo. And so I clearly did not follow her when she was with Olivia Rodrigo, but Got introduced to her with the Eras tour, and I just love her. I wouldn't say she's like some massive talent, and I would also say she's not very commercial. Like Sabrina Carpenter, who opened for Taylor, her song Espresso is doing very well right now. Again, I don't think she's massively talented, but she's very commercial.
Yes.
Gracie's not commercial, and I think that's what I love about her. She's beautiful. I think she's done some modeling. She's very, they're all weird. They all wear this weird stuff that we can't understand. She's very that. She's very, but she's pretty. She just seems like a genuine, kind heart person. Don't know.
Yeah.
She could be a total B word. I don't know. Anyway, she has a new song. Her single came out. It's called Risk. And one of the things I love about Gracie is that when she tours, her best friends are with her. She's a lot like Trav in that. Friends that she's had forever. They're her tour photographer, does her makeup, does her hair. So her best friend Audrey Holbert, I think is her last name. She did the treatment and directed this music video. And Mr. Aaron Dessner helped produce this song, of course. Her whole new album is with Aaron, so I think it is going to have a folklore vibe. I'm going to go ahead and say that I do think that there is going to be a song with Taylor. There were some Easter eggs in the music video that were very, there was like the number 13 was randomly written on a wall for no reason. So I do think that's coming. But this new song, Risk, I really like it. You should go listen to it. It has a very Taylor vibe to the lyrics. I kind of take it to be like trying to convince herself to take a risk to fall in love, and she knows that like it exists and it's possible and that this person exists, but like if she can like see it all happen, but she's just not sure that she can like really go through with it. That's the way I take it. I think it's good.
Go watch
and I'm excited to see what are seemingly good, nice people. I'm excited to see them get ahead. And I like Gracie, so that's my thing I'm liking this week. It's a good song.
I like it. I like it.
All right, what are you not liking?
All right, so I'm not liking. Listen, I'm already not like a huge run errands Walmart kind of fan.
Okay.
And I don't know about Arkansas Walmarts, but the Texas Walmart.
We are the home of Walmart, so.
We have new carts, so maybe it originated in Arkansas. You got
carts. I thought you said carts. Yeah. Okay. We don't have those.
Okay, so it looks like the old carts, but it has this thing on the end that looks like, where they just stick advertisements in. It's just like a plastic frame. But what it does is apparently there's a sensor in there, so you can only push the cart so far outside the store. Okay.
Oh, so brother. Okay.
People aren't stealing carts and using them in a homeless camps or wherever.
Okay.
Great idea. Here's the thing.
Sure.
It's not Walmart, so it's not accurate. I get halfway into the parking lot, and this cart, it locks the wheels. So once it hits this area, the wheels lock. Listen, I had bottled water in the cart. I had a kid with me.
Oh no! You didn't have to carry it all, did you?
Yeah, I can't push it. Like it was. Luckily, it wasn't like terribly far from the car, but still like enough that I'm like stopping, carrying it over to the car, getting a kid in, going back, getting the rest. Like it's just. Listen.
Well, I don't know if we have that. I don't.
Go again.
Yeah, I don't know if that happens on ours. Now I kind of want to like go get in my car and hold one out the window and like travel through the parking lot and just see what happens. I mean, I'm not gonna go out there and walk. That would be weird. But yeah, I don't know if ours does that. I'm annoyed with our Walmart, so I don't know how y'all's are. That like we have maybe 2 cashiers, and then I have to do the rest of the work everywhere else.
Yeah, but not all the like self checks are always open.
Oh yeah, and then the 90-year-old people that are over there. That should have been my thing I don't like this week, but it's actually not. There's actually a lot of things as usual that I could pick from.
Oh gosh, you could. What's landed on for today?
Well, this is going to be a little bit spicy.
Okay.
Drake.
Oh.
Here we are. So, have you been following these rap wars that are happening right now?
A little bit.
Okay.
A little bit.
Well, I'm a Kendrick fan. Kendrick's worked with Taylor a lot. I love Kendrick. So Kendrick put out another diss track today, and guess who produced it? Mr. Jack Antonoff. That's
Dang.
right. That's right. It's called 616 in LA. It is fire. I love it. I love the other one he put out earlier too. But Drake, yeah, Drake is where I'm calling it because here's what happens. Drake likes to inundate the market with music a lot, like Taylor. I'm not saying that's any different. But like seemingly you're you're one of the top, I'd say 3 to 4 artists in the world. And for a long time you've been top 1 or 2. I think you're slipping a little bit, but he's clout chasing. So in this rap war, which using that very loosely, having been very enamored with the whole like Biggie, Tupac, all of their murders. I use it very loosely that y'all are just talking to each other in songs. But
Yeah.
he was, in my opinion, he was kind of losing this battle with Kendrick. And so what did he do? He came out in his diss track talking about how Taylor is like the it thing in the music industry. Why'd you have to do that, Drake? You couldn't come up with anything else?
Yeah.
And why go at Kendrick, who works with Taylor?
Yeah.
Drake, that was just stupid. Like, go back to Canada? Like, I'm mad about the whole thing. And Kendrick Lamar, I just love that first of all, I think his diss track, I don't necessarily love the beat on the one that came out earlier this week. I like the one today a lot. You will be shocked to know it has a lot of synth in it. Shocker. Literally, I did not know Jack did it. And then I was listening to it this morning. Literally, it was the first thing I saw on Twitter when I woke up this morning. I was like, because Aaron and I talked about it a lot yesterday in the car, because he doesn't like Kendrick. And so he was like, oh, you're so dumb, whatever. He doesn't know what he's talking about either. So I wake up and I see it and I'm like, oh my God. So I put my headphones in because they were still asleep and I was listening to it. And I was like, man, Taylor and the synth, it's just taking over the world. And then I look and Jack has produced it. I was like, sure. Yeah. So yeah, I'm not liking Drake this week. And I like Drake. I mean, in the grand scheme of life, but like this was lame. But apparently he was supposed to drop a rebuttal last night and didn't. So I don't know if it'll happen tonight. I don't know. We'll see.
There you go.
Spicy take though, I know. The Drake fans may come for me. I would like to let you know, I checked this morning. The episode that we came out Tuesday, our 2-parter, which, listen, folks, I did the best I could getting that out there. That's just the way I had to make it happen. But we did get over 1,700 downloads on both parts. Now, part 1 definitely had like closer to 18 or 1,900. Part 2 was like right at 17. But hey, you came back for part 2, so
you're listening to us, guys.
I don't know who you are, but thank you. If you want to send money, we'll send our addresses. It's fine too.
Will we?
Probably. Well, I'll send mine. Becca for sure won't because that is not in the book of safety that she follows. No. So
literally, I just came up with like 4 different scenarios that could happen.
Yeah, right when I said it, I was like, "Oh, the safety goggles are about to come on."
Oh gosh.
Oh my gosh. Well, y'all have a good day. You're going to be watching this on Tuesday, and we will have had F1, the Derby, and the Met Gala. So,
yep,
it's going to be big, people.
Busy weekend.
All right. We will talk to y'all later. Thanks for tuning in.
Bye, guys.